Okay, guys, this is actually the episode that I was pretty much dreading to actually see the most. We actually dealt with Yandy and her children a lot in this episode, and I knew it was coming, and I dreaded actually getting to it, but let's go ahead and take care of it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox, that's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop New York. This is season 9, episode 7. As I said before, this is the episode that I was dreading actually running into because it dealt a lot with Yandy and her children. And then she has a new foster daughter that she's actually dealing with. It hits close to home. I'm an adoptive parent and all of that stuff. So I just was really dreading even going through having to watch this whole thing of how the system seems to work backwards. And that don't matter what state you live in. It just seems to work backwards a lot of times. But we're going to talk about that in this, and I'll try to just move through it and don't get too caught up in it. Okay, first things first. Remy and Joe Budden have actually started to do this podcast. Things seem to be going fine. This was the first one. It was looking like this might be something really interesting. He took some time out to actually ask Remy to speak with Sin a little bit because she had a whole lot going on and he wasn't sure how to help her, and he thinks that maybe Remy might be able to help her. Everybody, when it comes to love life and relationship, everybody seeks Remy and Papoose for help. So Remy's like, cool, no problem, I'll go ahead and I'll sit with her. She actually did sit with Sin a little bit, and basically they talked about some things, and what came out was that she had a little bout with her postpartum a little bit, but she didn't really go that far into it with Remy about that. She talked a lot about being afraid of getting a nanny. And Remy told her, no, baby, if you want this to work, you are going to have to. You're going to have to schedule time and have time with each other. And that's going to require you to have a nanny. You're going to have to do it. It is what it is. You're going to have to jump the hurdle. I know it's not easy to turn your baby over to a complete stranger, but sometimes you got to trust. You're going to have to. And that's the truth of the matter. I don't know about this whole nanny stuff. You know what I mean? But at some point, every parent comes to that place where you got to turn your kid over. I had to do it. Remy's had to do it. You ladies and males have had to do it. Everybody comes to that period where you got to turn them over, whether it's going to daycare, going to school. Listen, I had an issue with daycare and even with school. It was like, oh, God, here we go again. Turning them over and calling the babysitter from work and saying, girl, what are you doing? Child, you all right? Child, and then the first day you come home, honey, and your baby got a knot or a bump or a bruise. Child, we all have to go through it. And so Sin, again, she took the information from Remy and she went on. It was kind of crazy because then she actually met up and she sat with Joe. And then it was like this whole thing now. Now she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the nanny. That was cool. And she's like, yeah, and, and then we can have some time and we can go ahead and we can screw. And I'm like, and Joe is looking at her the whole time like, what the hell? I sent her to talk to Remy about this postpartum shit, and because he really opened up his ears and started paying attention to this whole postpartum and the depression stuff. He knows that that's serious. She's acting like that didn't even happen, or that wasn't even an issue. And he's like, no, I need you to focus. I need you to focus and let's deal with what the problem is, because it looks like you're putting everything on our relationship. But see, the relationship issues are coming from something that's actually deeper. Yeah, you might need to talk to somebody. You might. Oh, no, I'm just dealing with it on my own. I'm dealing with my... Listen, Sin is a piece of work. Sin is getting on my nerves. So I could just imagine how Joe feels about Sin at this point. But just, I mean, he was looking at her so crazy. And she was just going on like she didn't have postpartum. Or what, talking about postpartum just a week or so ago. I said, Lord have mercy, get her, honey. Lord, come down, swoop down, and wrap her up because the child is gone. She's gone. So we're going to see. We'll keep our good eye on her. Rich met with Safaree and Jaquay. Jaquay's on my nerves. I don't know if it's just me, if I'm being too sensitive when it comes to this things with Sydney, but Jaquay is on my nerves. The arrogance level is so high. It's only when it comes to her, it seems. It just, I don't know, I can't with Jaquay. He just seems so disingenuous to me when it comes to Sydney. It really, I don't know. You all tell me in the comments, is it just me? Or do you all feel that too? It's just not genuine at all. I'm just like, Again, threatening that he's going to take the song away from her and everything. And Rich is like, I don't want to see that happen. I took a song away from somebody before. They would run the footage about him and Erica Mena and how that mess all took place. Terrible. Safaree gets to tell them about this, what was it, $7 million, possibility of $7 million deal for dildos, a line of dildos. And he was like, seemed very excited about it. I'm like, okay, cool. But then later on, we actually see Safaree meet up with Papoose and Remy. Now he has some questions about it. And he didn't know whether he should really do it. Remy was cool with it. She's like, hey, that's money. There's a lot of money involved. Papoose was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And your career to where your career is. Baby, where's his career? Where is his career, Papoose? Because that bastard ain't selling no records. He ain't selling no $1 million, $7 million, $2 million, $3 million, no $1 million worth of records. So he better go on and whip that thing out and let it do what it do. You better use what it is that you have that is marketable. And right now, everything that you have that is really marketable, unfortunately, Safaree, is between your legs. So you need to part your feet and let's get to it. Shit. Anyway, and then Remy was tearing his ass up about him not reading the contract. Because he said, I didn't read all of it. You done signed the contract and ain't read it. Ding dong Mary. That's Let's Go Broke 101. Like, why are you... Just stupid. So Remy was like, I'm ready to punch him in the face, Papoose. I was like, Lord, don't punch him, Remy. Don't punch him, girl. Don't get in trouble. Anyway, Sydney meets up with her friend Byron. And that Byron, I'm looking at that Byron. That Byron's kind of cute. But Byron comes in there, and I like when he shows up because he talks real shit to Sydney. Sydney come in there on that old fuck shit. She all in her feelings, this, that, and the other. She do a little rapping for him. He's like, nah, girl, that's fuck bullshit. That ain't no good. And he told her, you need to get out your feelings. You're telling me, these things that people are saying, and all I'm seeing from you is you all in your feelings. Get out your feelings. They try to help you. Let people help you. Or just go on about your business because you're going to waste your time and waste everybody else's time. So I said, okay, well, maybe she got it. She got it. Then later on, I see her meet up with Naya. And she starts in again. Naya's like, okay, well, girl, let's talk about these clothes. Because every time I see you, girl, like, you need to change that image. When I see you, basically, she looks like a streetwalker. And that's kind of what it is. Everything is very sexual. She's like, girl, your titties is hanging all out and this, that, thing, and the other, on. So, of course, she got into her feelings. And she was like, well, girl, I mean, come on, Miss Thing. You ain't, like, breaking it up. And the next thing you know, then here comes Jaquay. So now she's there with Nia Lee and Jaquay. And they're doing this little thing. And then it's like, okay, well, drop the thing about the clothes. Come on and do, let me hear your rap. She fucking messed up the rap again. And Jaquay was just being so... Well, I don't really care if I end up taking a song from you, and I don't really care if things don't really work out, that kind of thing. Natalie told her, you know, you need to go ahead and take this tough love and know that it's coming from a good place and cut the bullshit. You know, stop talking back. Stop being all in your feelings. Stop wanting to be combative. I'm trying to show you something. She told her, go in the bathroom and try on this dress. Because she had threw the dress on the floor. It's about, I don't want to wear no shit like this. I was like, oh, Sydney. She went in and put the dress, was the navy blue dress, and with, you know, like midsection slides, and it was like laced up with white. Real cute. And when she put it on, it looked real nice on her. But again, you know, some people have their sense of style is the whore look. And it is that whore-like quality that they really like and they lean to. And that's what I see with Sydney. She likes that tight, everything busted out, you know, want to show all my shit. That whore look, you know. So I don't know where we're going to get through to her with that. But again, you got the fucked up looks going on. And then you also got this whole, your music ain't right. So it's just a mess. Naya's like, girl, listen. So everything seemed to calm down. It was like, cool. Then we got Safaree takes his ass out to California. He meets with Doc Johnson, who is the company that's actually going to do the sex toy line. And he has the nerve to sit in there in this meeting with these people. And they're talking about the possibility of the money and all that. And I'm like, okay, you already said, let's get to work. You know, and he is in there going back and forth. And now he's having so-called morality issues. I said, if you don't get your dick out and stop playing... Stop playing. Don't make no sense. You done pulled your dick out for worse and for less. Now you're just being ridiculous. Now I don't know if this is just storyline. It's not a porn. What you've done that went viral on the internet is worse than this mold of your penis. Do you understand me? I done seen about 7 different pictures of Safaree. Hard, semi-hard, about to be hard, just got done being hard, ain't got no business being hard, dick totally out. I done seen all of this. So what is it so bad about you getting ready to get some actual money? We done seen all the shit for free. We done did everything for free other than sit in your lap, Safaree. So what is really going on? If you don't get your ass somewhere and sit down. He was starting to get on my nerves. I said, listen, honey, go on you and your morals. You ain't had none, bitch. You ain't had none here. Get your ass on back there and get the clay on the dick and let's go. Anyway, moving on, simple ass. Okay, we got to talk about shit. I covered it everything. Yeah, I covered everything except for Yandy. Y'all see how I did that? I covered everything except for Yandy. We got to talk about Yandy now. Okay, so Yandy has this little girl, cute little girl. Her name is Infinity, and she's a foster child, and she was being mentored through a program that Yandy has. And Infinity is very unhappy at her foster home. She was getting ready to leave. She had talked to Yandy and told her, you know, I'm going to run away. I didn't have enough of this shit here. And, you know, it's the story that we all know so well. You know what I mean? And then we got to see Infinity interact with Yandy. And you see her interact with Yandy's kids. Yandy's kids are just too damn adorable. Too damn adorable. But them kids are so attached to Infinity, and you could just see it. Like, these people are not actors. You could see it in these kids. I mean, so attached to her, and they were so happy to see her. And when she said, oh, she's coming home with us, oh, their little hearts just opened wide. I said, well, look at here. So things went on. Then Yandy had actually met up with a couple of girls. You know, she met up with Maggie and Naya, and they were talking about what was going on. And she had gotten some information back. This had happened after she spoke with Jonathan. And you could actually see how much time Yandy actually spends with Jonathan too, because her kids just love Jonathan. They went flying to Jonathan. I said, that ain't no acting. You could tell he spends time with those children. And, you just watch the children, baby. The children will tell the story. When you want to know what's really going on, watch the children, honey. That's all I'm going to say. Watch the children. The children will give you all the answers to all the questions that you have that are roaming around in your mind. Watch the children. Now, that's where the saying comes from, out of the mouth of babes. Anyway, so Jonathan said you got to go through the proper channels or you're going to get yourself into trouble, because she's a ward of the state. She belongs to the state. And right now, you just have her. The state's not aware that you have her. They're thinking she's at the foster home. You have her. It's like you've apprehended her. You're in, direct line up with breaking the law, which was absolutely correct. Jonathan, he said he didn't know exactly, what the rules were. But Jonathan, you were completely correct. So I said, oh, God, come on, Yandy. So Yandy took care of everything. And she had to go tell she had to tell Infinity, I gotta take you back. It was the worst scene ever to have to watch. It was the worst. I was like, oh my God, it was like heartbreaking to see her, because she was like, why do I have to do this? Like, why is it so hard for me to be loved? Why is it so hard for me? I do everything I'm supposed to do, and it's just like, it's always some bullshit. You know what I mean? And she just told her, she said, we're going to figure it out. She said, don't matter how long it is. She said, I'm not going to have you on the street. I'm not going to have you running away and doing all this. I just need you to do what you need to do so I can do what I need to do, but we're going to take care of it. I said, come on, Yandy. Come on, Yandy. No matter what anybody says about you, Yandy, your heart's in the right place. And when you do things for the right reasons, it always turns out good. And yes, the system really very much seems that it works backwards a lot of times. And I know I went through years of it through my adoptions and everything. And a lot of times when you're going through it as a foster parent, you feel like you're on trial. But again, if you're in it for the right reason and your heart is in the right place, you kick all those goddamn doors down. And I believe that's where Yandy is. People say anything they want to say about Yandy, but in this, I think her heart is in the right place. So that was that. That's what this was, and I've been waiting. I knew this was going to be a rough episode whenever they brought Infinity into the fold. I knew it was going to be rough, and it was. It was. But there's somebody who needs to see it. There's somebody out there that needs to see it. So just is what it is. It just hit home for me, but somebody needs to see that. So there's somebody interested in doing foster care who needs to know what really goes on, or there's somebody there's a foster child that needs to see that things can really work. Somebody needed to see this. So we're going to go on and chalk it up with that. And I'm going to catch y'all next week. I'm done. I'm done with this today. I'm finished. I'll talk to y'all next week. Later.